Hello, welcome back to the Last Shot podcast with me, All Things Wrestling, and Stefan. We've got some very interesting topics to talk about. A couple of notes. One, some of this information may be wrong because we're filming this Friday evening due to Stefan having to go back to America on Sunday and Monday, so he won't be able to film it on Monday.
Exactly.
And we're doing questions at the end of the video, so you leave your questions and we'll answer them for you. It can be anything, wrestling related, non-wrestling related. Any and all questions are welcome.
Truly anything.
Yes. Are we ready?
I think we are.
I think we should talk about the fact that apparently Braun Strowman is now joining the Shield.
Oh my god.
Why? If you don't know, WWE adverts are advertising a European tour date, 8th of May, with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and honorary Shield member Braun Strowman versus McIntyre, Corbin, and Lashley. So, if we're going by that, it could make its way onto TV, which I don't want.
It's so stupid because they said it was one last time, and I get it why, but why it's so stupid when you have Ambrose on the same brand. It doesn't make any sense. It's just that they it's just for the fact that because they want to avoid Dean Ambrose, so they put themselves in that position, where they can't bring the Shield back anymore. So they need to put someone else, which is stupid.
Yeah, exactly. If he's gone, it's not the Shield. It's just go. It's finished now. Why do we have to drag Braun Strowman into it where it's not going to be as good? It's not going to do anything for any of the guys involved. It's just going to be, oh, here it is. Like when Kurt Angle appeared at whatever pay-per-view it was.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you wanted to have, listen. If you know that Ambrose is leaving in April after WrestleMania,
yeah,
you put yourself in that position because you said it was one last time, or what? Is that what they said?
Yeah, one last time for the Shield.
So why would you say that if you know for a fact that you may use the Shield on house shows again?
Exactly.
That's stupid. It's better if they had like Shield farewell tour with Ambrose. I mean Ambrose farewell tour, which they can say goodbye to Dean Ambrose, and all three of them, even at WrestleMania, they can. Time should be at WrestleMania when Rollins wins the title, but
yeah,
whatever.
And then they reunite, and then they say bye to Ambrose.
It's WWE, so when it comes to WWE, a lot of things doesn't make sense, and I'm not surprised.
Definitely not. Definitely not, but yeah. Then we have, well, let's just mention the Ronda Rousey situation. She's been fined by WWE as a result for her unprofessional actions on Monday Night Raw. Which, yeah, I guess it adds a bit to the story. Kind of.
Which I get. I mean, I wonder how many people think that's actually real.
Yeah, I know. Due to her contract, the amount of fine will not be disclosed. Could have been £2.50. For God's sake.
How much did they say that they fined her?
They can't disclose it due to the fact of her contract. But I think the typical fine is like 10 grand. For laying your hands on an official.
Oh, that's nothing for them, so.
Oh no, but they always do it in story, don't they? It makes sense.
We literally don't have anything to talk about that.
No, I do want to just put it. Just mention the mosque shooting in Christchurch, New Zealand, which is a horrible event. I just want to send all my love, prayers, and thoughts over to the families and friends affected by that horrific shooting.
Same. I don't know if anyone here is watching from New Zealand, but that's when I woke up, I've seen that on Twitter. It's really horrible, and you can't really feel how they feel until it's so weird, man, because we don't know how they're feeling. It's horrible, but to be in their shoes right now, it's so hard.
It is. It's just so horrible. Absolutely so horrible. May the victims rest in peace. And all my love to New Zealand and all the family and friends. Well, let's continue. Gallows and Anderson have not made a decision whether they're staying with WWE or not. The reported expiry of their contract is September, so they've got a few months to kind of mull over whether they're going AEW, New Japan, or staying with WWE.
Interesting fact about that is that AJ Styles' contract is also he still didn't resign yet. So I think that all depends on what AJ wants. Now, listen, everyone will say, "Oh, AJ will stay in the WWE." You also have to keep in mind the business side of things. Is AJ was a WWE champion? He done everything in WWE that he wanted to do. I mean, matches. So you have to look from his perspective, and also because he wants to be more with family. So maybe, but maybe he leaves for AEW.
Yeah, well, I think AJ's on an Orton contract where he doesn't really do house shows, but he does the TV tapings, so I think he only works like 2 or 3 days a week.
Yes, but I'm saying again, if you have really to... How long can he wrestle like this? Not long.
I'd say he's got 2-3 years in him.
Yes, and if he wants to accomplish anything, I think with his friends in All Elite Wrestling, that will be great way for him to go out. And in the same time, if AJ leaves, for example, that will also affect Gallows and Anderson, because they can reunite some version of the Bullet Club or something. So that's it for that. And I think I think Gallows and Anderson's decision final will be what AJ thinks, because I think all of them are in contact together. So
yeah, definitely. Speaking of contracts, Dolph Ziggler talks about how his current WWE situation is. According to him, he has had somewhat of a handshake agreement, a kind of behind closed doors deal, where he could just pretty much do what he wants because he's been there for so long.
That's strange. I actually didn't see that, but
I swear that's what James Ellsworth was on. He was on literally a date-by-date contract when he was there.
Yeah.
Same as Jericho was. He just kept signing extensions. He weren't on a proper decent contract.
He was like pay-per-view from pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Yeah, pretty much. Same as like Brock Lesnar is most of the time. So I guess the older the people they get, they kind of just have these deals.
They give them deals. I mean, at the end of the day, Ziggler... at the end of the day, they respect Ziggler because he didn't do a lot for the company after all those years. He was loyal. He didn't want to go to Indies. He didn't want, So they offered him the deal. So it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he's not been on TV much, but what more can he achieve at this point in his career? He's going off to do other projects while he's still getting a WWE deal. So what more does he want?
Yeah, but man, I think he will be a perfect fit for... I just think... I don't know why, but...
I think he'd be the perfect cocky heel in AEW if he goes.
And I think, if he goes there, he will be a top star immediately. The main event star.
Oh, definitely. Definitely would.
It's up to him, so... If he wants to respect the WWE, I get it. But also, look what Jericho did. He respects Vince. But at the end of the day, business is business.
Yeah. Definitely. So, just have to wait and see what's going on with Ziggler.
What do you think about this Braun Strowman big match at WrestleMania? It says huge match
Well,
is planned for WrestleMania for Strowman. I know for Strowman. I'm sorry
Corbin.
for Baron Corbin. Yeah.
Why? Why do we need a big match for him?
No. And what's the big match if it's big match? Why? I don't.
He's gonna go against Roman Reigns and lose in 5 seconds.
Do you really want to see that?
No, I don't. But it seems like something they would do.
That's a wasted match on the card, literally, because I don't care about that.
Generally, if Reigns were going to have an opponent, I'd like him to have someone like Elias or something, you know? Someone who would get benefits from having a good match at Mania. Corbin just isn't good enough for a decent Mania match. At all.
I don't know, call up Matt Riddle. I don't know, call up Matt Riddle and let's have Riddle against Reigns.
Oh, that would be good.
And
put Ricochet in there. Put Ricochet versus Reigns. Or Black. Aleister Black would be really good against Reigns. That would be a really good match. Reigns and Black.
Hey, I'm hearing some. I actually heard something about the title match, Universal title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Vince? Don't keep my word because I'm not sure about this. Imagine if Vince switches out the match. Remember when New Day announced the Hardy Boys at WrestleMania 33, I think, when they returned.
I remember.
If Vince does something like that and adds Drew or Reigns in that title match?
Interesting.
Imagine if he puts Reigns in the match. Like, he can play out, oh, look, Reigns is a Hollywood big star, Rollins is not. But not before WrestleMania, before the match starts.
Yeah.
When the match starts. Imagine the crowd. I mean...
The crowd would lose their shit if that happened.
And I think that's a bold prediction. I think that may happen.
Yeah.
Because so far, he screwed Becky. He screwed Kofi Kingston.
Now we can screw Rollins.
Like I said, when that match before the bell rings, then. Before, not now. So that will be crazy if that happens.
Definitely be crazy.
Another thing here. Oh man, what's this? McMahon wants to make Adam Cole the face of the company. Go on, you start first.
That would be the correct decision to do, Vince. Because what can the guy not do? He's athletic as hell. He's over as hell. He's a good talker. He's a great wrestler. His selling is on point. He's got a marketable face. He's got the right look for an athlete. WWE's trying to push these smaller guys, and there is your smaller guy.
Listen. A lot of guys in the WWE, I'm going to be honest, a lot of them are, 5'10", 5'10", I mean 5'7", 5'8", for example, Styles, Bryan, 5'10", for example, but he's not small.
No.
That's going on with him is body mass, because he was losing that when he had, he was sick before, so... was back in 2016, I think. Yeah. So that's why. Well, I think this is a perfect. If Vince McMahon wants to push Adam Cole, I guess that because he did you hear the reports that he was before? I mean, before he signed him.
Yeah, I did see the reports that he was very high on Adam Cole back in 2016.
So I'm not surprised because the guy looks... his face looks like a star. He can sell. He's selling... The Undisputed Era stuff is selling like crazy on the WWE show.
Yeah.
really don't see, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Adam Cole. What I think may happen, we may see Roman Reigns at one brand and Adam Cole at other. But at the end of the day, I think we may see both of them as top faces. I don't know.
Yeah, I could definitely see WWE doing that, one for one, one for the other, because AJ's really been the face of SmackDown, hasn't he? While he was WWE champion.
And you can clearly see right here, if you don't want to know the spoilers, something, just do something. So here's what I'm going to say. Spoiler warning. Gargano is facing Adam Cole at next takeover. It was confirmed at recent tapings, and that proves that NXT always had plans for Cole. Cole was always, their first player.
Yep.
People went injured. Cole, and there was nobody else. And that proves that they are high on him.
Most definitely.
So that's it for that. What else do you have?
What's been announced for this Monday night's Raw? Brock Lesnar's return, which is okay. I really ain't got much to say about that.
We may get trolled by Heyman again. When he comes out to Heyman and introduces Brock and nobody comes out.
Maybe he might troll the entire audience. Kurt Angle to announce his WrestleMania opponent, which would be good.
Would love to see Undertaker. I don't know why, but
it'll be a bad match. But
they're
why
old,
not?
but why not?
Why the hell not? Seth Rollins seeks retribution against Drew McIntyre, so that'll be good.
Yo, man, did we say Baron Corbin's big match? It may be against Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. That is a very, very good point. That could happen.
Oh my god, that would be...
shit. That match would be shit.
Thing is, I don't want to see that at all.
Oh god, no. I definitely don't want to see that match.
Yeah. Anyways.
Dana Brooke gets her title opportunity against Ronda Rousey. I hope Ronda rips her head off. Not literally, obviously. I'm not that evil. But yeah, that's going to be a shit match.
To random.
Finn Balor's going against Bobby Lashley and Rush, who's going to be his partner. So, my guess is probably going to be Braun Strowman.
Ricochet. And I will tell you why. Yeah. I will tell you why. Because Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are going on vacation on honeymoon. On their honeymoon. So, if Black is not there, it's the only thing for Ricochet to do, honestly.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'd like to see Ricochet make an appearance.
And I know we got that match already. But how many times do we get same matches? I mean, on Raw. So it's not a surprise if Ricochet teams up with Balor. And at the end of the day, it will be a pretty decent match from what we got last time also.
Definitely. And the last one is Beth Phoenix pondering an in-ring return. So I think we'll get an answer to what's going on there. Which is okay. If she returns, I guess.
The last podcast I said this. When it's WrestleMania, they all bring all the legends. So what's going to happen, and that's the thing I hate. They will probably have Beth Phoenix right now team up with Natalya, and after WrestleMania, that team will be done because Beth Phoenix will leave again. So
yeah, that brings me on to my next point in this podcast. Are they shoehorning way too many legends into WrestleMania and not giving enough talent the time that they should be getting?
Yes, because Vince doesn't trust new guys.
Yeah, but look at the example. They're trying to get John Cena a match. Kurt Angle's got a match. Batista and Triple H are having a match. Brock Lesnar's having a match. I know it's a title match, but still, he's a part-timer. Undertaker, Kurt Angle, everybody. It's just... why are there too many part-timers and legends having matches?
Because Vince doesn't think that new guys can sell the same amount of tickets and the same excitement.
Yeah,
he doesn't
give him a chance.
He says grab the brass ring. And if they do something, they get... look at the Ty Dillinger, for example. The guy made his debut at Royal Rumble. He got those 10 chants. And what happened? Vince didn't like those 10 chants.
No, and then he just kind of killed him. Dead. I mean, that's partly due to the fact Ty Dillinger ran off with injuries, so we can't fully blame WWE for that.
But I know why. I know why Kevin Dunn likes Adam Cole, because Kevin Dunn is probably doing the baby when Adam Cole is doing, you know?
Baby!
Like a fucking dumbass. You fucking moron, you son of a bitch. I mean, the guy's fucking dumb. Fuck Kevin Dunn, man.
Definitely, yeah.
Did you see how much is he getting paid? More than Triple H. Holy shit.
I know, he's like one of the top people paid in the company.
Yeah, he's literally next to Vince for someone that doesn't know. He literally approves everything like Vince. Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely mental. Why has Kevin Dunn got so much power? Because he sucks things off in the locker room, I think. I'm going to say he sucks off Vince. No one can stop me from saying that.
You know what? First thing that when Triple H gets the company, if he ever gets the company, first thing that will happen is Kevin Dunn, he won't get fired. He'll run away because Triple H doesn't like Kevin Dunn, and he knows.
We know this. Everybody knows this. I think we kind of got off track of what we were talking about. Though.
I don't know what
talking about Legends at Mania, we got talking about Kevin Dunn.
Oh yeah, I mean, fuck Kevin Dunn.
Yes, exactly. But Mania, they need to start focusing on new talent more. I mean, yay, Johnson is having a match, maybe. Yay, Undertaker might be there.
I'm going to put this simply this way. We have a takeover before WrestleMania. In my opinion, that takeover feels amazing, man. When I see every match, a takeover when I see, it's amazing. It has potential to be a 5-star match, every match.
Yep.
So, why not every match? Why is not every WrestleMania match main event 40? Why we don't have that feeling? Because there is not a lot build-up talent.
No.
And Jesus Christ, I'm just reading that we may get 70 matches. Imagine 17 matches in WrestleMania.
Fucking hell, that will be a slog to get through.
So, I prefer quality over quantity.
Definitely.
But WWE definitely doesn't see that.
No. More matches on, more matches! We don't want more matches. We just want better matches.
Yeah, what did you say?
What?
No, I mean, yeah, so when it comes to the talent, Vince personally feels that there are no gimmicks like before. Taker had Kane, but right now he feels you don't have anyone.
Well, that's kind of his job to make the gimmicks.
Yeah. I don't know what can I say.
But that's not wrestling anymore. Wrestling has changed since the 80s and the 90s.
It has changed.
Wrestling has changed.
They're like in their fantasy bubble in 90s, and they think it's still working the same way, which is not the case.
No. Yes, that was. I think we definitely new talent and fuck off Legends. Like Taker doesn't need a match because these matches for the last few years have been shit. One legend
on the show is enough.
I mean, I don't mind the Triple H Batista match because it's a retirement match for Batista. So I get that. But same with the Kurt Angle. They want to end it at WrestleMania. So yeah, I get that. But why does John Cena need to come and have a match?
Doesn't.
No,
why would he have a match?
Not at all.
So stupid. What said? I would love if, because I don't want legends, because you know, if you put legend in the ring with someone, usually legend buries the new talent.
Yeah.
And
It also
that's it.
doesn't help TV ratings because you get the casual fan watching Mania. They tune into one episode of Raw, realise that most of the people they watched were not there, and go, okay, this is boring now, and tune out for the next year. So if you've got really good matches with your actual talents, you might get people tuning in for Monday Night Raw to want to see more of these people. But not if they're part-time legends. You're never going to get the appeal that Mania had to casual fans if you've got no appeal with your actual roster.
Exactly.
I think we've got two more things to talk about. Well, one more thing in Q&A. We've got Shane McMahon's heel turn. Is it a good idea, and will it work?
It is a good idea.
Will it work?
Well, that's the thing, because when they turned they were in Cleveland, which is, again, it's Miz's
Hometown.
So you have to keep that in mind. And Miz, we got used to him as a heel. So I think this time it will work, but I can see maybe the WrestleMania match in some way.
They're having a Mania match, so what's going to happen with that?
I think what may happen is it may shock you this, but I think his father may get involved and cost Miz the match by accident, and then we will see Miz turn heel and beat up his father.
That's not a bad idea, because that way Shane can stay heel and Miz can go back to being a heel.
Because after WrestleMania, I have no interest in babyface Miz.
I like babyface Miz, but he is not as good as heel Miz.
I like it too right now, but I'm afraid that all the hype may I don't know. It's good for this feud only.
Yeah, so I don't think long term heel Shane would work out at all. I mean, the main thing is, why do we need another heel McMahon? That's my main gripe. Is you've got Triple H as a heel, you've got Vince McMahon as a heel, you've got Stephanie as a heel.
Taken. Triple H and Stephanie are not heels right now.
Yes.
Okay. That's why they flipped the heel. That's why they flipped the Shane heel, because Vince and Shane are not heels.
Okay, but Stephanie will never be over as a babyface. Ever. She just has that face that you hate. It's kind of the point of her.
You know, when I hear that, when she announces, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw," I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
Why do I need to hear her voice?
Yeah, I know. So she may be, but then again, we don't need another heel McMahon. That's my main gripe, is I don't think Shane needed to turn heel for this reason. I mean, it makes sense for the story, but how is he going to turn back to babyface?
Simple. I don't think you. I mean, man, this is hard.
There's one way. He could try and go and get his dad's approval, and Vince just completely wrecks him.
Oh, I think we may get the match between Shane and Triple H at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that could turn him babyface, because Vince is like, "You betrayed your only friend. You're a disappointment to me. You'll face Triple H at SummerSlam." And there you go. You turn him babyface again. I mean, they were teasing that match for Mania, weren't they?
But let's not talk about that, because let's just see first what will happen, maybe it goes great. Maybe we for Shane as heel in the future. Maybe it's a great thing for him.
Maybe. It might be. I'm not dissing it until I get to see what happens.
Because realistically, next to Triple H, Stephanie she will be loved. But if she's making announcements on her own, that's when fans will start to get annoyed.
Yeah.
Love Triple H, so love Triple H, So if she's with him, she's good.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's that, and let's just do our questions that we have here. The first one is from Tic Tac. He asks, Stefan, who is your favourite Bond actor and what is your favourite James Bond movie?
Okay, this will surprise you, man. Favorite actor? 99.
Yeah.
So my favorite actor is Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, I get that.
But my favorite movie, Casino Royale from 2006. And I will just quickly explain that.
Can I just ask you to stop being so similar to me? Because they were literally going to be my two choices.
Okay. And
Weird.
I will explain that.
Yeah, you continue.
Craig a lot as Bond, but Brosnan was it wasn't that realistic. It was it was Bond. It was really Bond. And it got kind of crazy in that movie Die Another Day in 2002. So for Craig to be able to have Bond rebooted as a character more realistic. And I really like the Casino Royale and also Eva Green in that movie as a Bond girl. It was awesome. So, in my opinion, that's my favorite movie. But as goes for the actor, it was Pierce Brosnan, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like Craig he wasn't the greatest charismatic actor as Bond, but his movies were better written than Brosnan's.
Oh, but he was cold-blooded. He is a cold-blooded Bond, and he is also more realistic compared to Brosnan era.
Yeah, I give you that. Then again, I've never seen any of the old school Bonds, so I'll have to judge them after we ever watch them. But yeah, thank you, Tic Tac, for the question. You can all leave your other questions in the comments below, and they'll be answered on the next podcast or the one after that, depending on how many questions we receive.
What else we have?
We have Punisher 315 asks, what is your favourite food?
Dude, this is like the hardest question ever. I don't know what can I say.
I'm just gonna say, that is tough. What do I like to eat? I gotta say, my favourite actual food is the butter chicken burger we do at my workplace. It's bloody lovely.
I'm going to say this. This is because I have so many favorites. I don't know what will I say, but if I have to choose,
yeah,
Caesar salad, man.
Fair point.
Caesar salad.
We definitely differ on this. I pick a burger and you pick a salad.
But it's Caesar, so again you have
chicken,
you have
bacon and parmesan.
Whole meal. Yeah. It's not a regular salad. It's a whole meal. Yeah.
So yeah,
I have to go with that.
Buttermilk, Marston's buttermilk chicken burger was my choice. Yeah.
And my choice is Caesar salad.
And then where do you see WWE in the future, containing everything and expanding everywhere in the world?
I think with if Ronda Rousey stays, they will expand definitely. But I also think they also have opportunity as a top guy. He has a love of. Just in this case, he really sells out stuff. So if they had him as a top guy next to Reigns, it will be great for the company. We already talked about that. And obviously, Reigns with whole leukemia deal right now for the company. But the thing with Reigns is, how long can really this hold? Start boring him again.
I think I'll last a couple of months. But yeah, obviously,
I think they will. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, they'll definitely expand, as you were saying, but they've got Fox deal, they've got a Saudi Arabia deal, they're bringing in millions upon millions a year, and that's literally just from TV deals.
You can't forget the Saudi Arabia deals, where they are getting paid a huge amount of money.
Oh, they're getting paid shitloads, and they cover the cost of any talents they want to appear as well.
So I think when it comes to finances, I think they will be in great position like they are now, but I don't think a lot will change. Maybe, like I said, probably see some new faces like Adam Cole as a top guy, Ricochet, Aleister Black.
Tag team champions extraordinaire.
I think you can't really destroy those guys, even if you wanted to, because they're too good. So we will see some new faces, but at the end of the day, we will still see, same rinse and repeat matches at Raw and SmackDown, at Raw. SmackDown is better, which is sad because
has
that's
people.
the deal. They will focus on the SmackDown.
They'll focus on the sport element of it. And Fox has paid a hell of a lot of money to not get their worth out of it.
They have to. They really have to book SmackDown smart right now.
Definitely. Then we have 3 from Ross Mackey. 1 is the same as somebody else's, so I'll just mention that in a minute. Top 5 rivalries in all of wrestling.
Okay, you start.
I'm not going to do them in
Shawn
any
Michaels, Undertaker.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shawn Michaels, Jericho from 2008. DX versus the McMahon's in 2006.
Yeah.
Abyss and Christian back from 2006 in TNA. I need one more. I'm trying to go with ones I actually watched. I'm just going to go with what they're doing now and Kofi and Daniel Bryan story.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going with this. Number 1 rivalry is Steve Austin and The Rock back in the day.
Yep.
They had 2 WrestleMania matches. It was great. The second, my second favorite, Gargano and Ciampa.
Oh, damn it. I'm going to put them in there. That's what I wanted to put. Gargano and Ciampa instead of whatever I said for the last one.
Unfortunately, it has not come to an end. It has come to an I think because I want to see them fight for a WWE Championship maybe at next WrestleMania. It was planned this year for NXT title. So it's sad to see that Ciampa went out with an injury, but that's the storytelling is so perfect in that rivalry, in that feud. The third, I think, Seth Rollins against Dean Ambrose in 2014 was great.
Weren't watching then, really, so can't verify.
Okay, Ambrose was really over then. It was great.
Yeah.
Like Tom said, Chris Jericho against Shawn Michaels also, in my opinion.
I loved
that. That was great feud. And one more, and that is, for me, The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, fair point. All good picks. Next, top 5 wrestling games.
I don't know. I wasn't into wrestling games until recently. Until 2 years ago, so...
okay,
you answer that.
Number 1, SmackDown versus Raw... No. SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. 2, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. 3, great. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. 4, SmackDown vs. Raw from 2005, the original one. And the 5th one is TNA Impact on the PS2.
Okay, so I'm going to go with this. First, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011.
Damn, I never got on with it as much as the older ones. But then again, I should go back and replay it and see what they're like.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2007.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
It's called Shut Your Mouth.
SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Yeah.
And WWE 2K16.
Fair point.
I'm just going to explain quickly because I know some people will say, "Oh man, you love the new wrestling games." Listen, this was actually one of the best. WWE's games. If you actually go and play it, 2K17 and 2K18, 2K19 not that much, but 2K16 was really good.
2K19 is better than 2K17 and 18 by a mile, but that's not saying much. But I preferred 2K14 out of the 2K series.
I didn't play in that time. I was playing the Raw and SmackDown on the PS2 emulator. So
yeah, I own all the games, so I can just go and play any of them I want to.
Yeah.
Then we have Dennis. Dennis1214's question, which is the same as Ross's. Who is your favourite male and female wrestler of all time, and your favourite male and female wrestler of today?
First or
you go first.
Okay, favorite wrestler of all time? I don't think I can answer that without thinking. It's Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Female?
And female? So it's really hard to answer that, but if I have to go with someone, it's Trish Stratus, because they didn't have, back then they didn't have a lot of, it was more like, they didn't have a woman. I mean, they had, but it was more like, it's not serious like right now. So I think I'll go with Trish Stratus, in my opinion.
And today's?
Okay, first, this is hard to answer, because until recently, it was AJ Styles, but he had that stale run with WWE title, in my opinion. So right now to decide, because I think Tom will agree with me on this. Everyone in NXT is so perfect. Everyone.
Yep.
So if I have to go with someone, it's Adam Cole.
Yep, fair point.
And some people may disagree with me on this because it's a tough decision, but for a wrestler right now, go with Toni Storm. Not
I
Becky Lynch,
knew
sorry.
you were going to say Toni Storm.
I mean, she's great. She's honestly...
she's
a great
fantastic.
wrestler. And she's only like 20... Jesus Christ, she's 23 years old, which is crazy.
Jesus Christ. Damn. I'm going to go for favourite female of all... old times. I don't know. That is tough. Of all time, who's my favourite of all time? I'll go with male. Male is obviously Shawn Michaels. Gotta be Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Male of now, Daniel Bryan. Hands down, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I love everything he's doing. Female wrestler of now is obviously Becky Lynch.
I mean, obviously.
And of all time, I'm going to go AJ Lee. I loved her run
you
as
have a great point about that.
General manager. I loved her general manager run.
So
yeah, screw it, AJ Lee. Yeah, that is all the questions. We have one more question, but it will be done in its own separate video due to the fact it's a fantastic question from Doomguard. Thank you for the question, mate. It will be answered in a whole different dependent video on it. How would you fantasy book Undisputed Era's main roster debut?
Yeah, we talked before about how would we book the Undisputed Era, but we didn't talk about how will we book them in a fantasy world. In the fantasy way. So that's a great question for.
Yeah, we'll definitely be making a dedicated video to that because we've got some very good points, and yes, I don't want to drag this video on forever, and that could probably take a good 20 minutes, half hour easily for a topic. But yes, thank you for listening to the podcast. As always, please leave some comments and questions down below for next podcast, and we'll be one step closer to Mania.
Listen. Like I said, I'm going to I'll be leaving. I mean, in Sunday I'm going to America. So, if Tom wants, we can maybe do a podcast in Friday again because I don't want to miss a week. If you want to do it again, I don't know.
I'm just gonna upload this on Monday. Let's keep it regular.
Yeah, I mean, keep it regular. It's better. Or, I mean, whatever you want.
Well, we'll upload this one Monday and we'll see what the schedule's like. But either way, most of the times with these topics, you can just film at any time. To be honest,
yeah.
It doesn't make much of a difference. Yes,
and that's it.
Make sure you subscribe. And if you don't subscribe, you're gonna get fired.
Bye.
Peace out.